Hello, folks. Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. At John M's request, today we are going to be trying to play an Enduring Renewal deck list. So, this is a card with a very weird upside and a very weird downside. You play with your hand revealed, which is scary. Gataxian Probe, like banned in Legacy, right? Too good for Legacy. Perfect information is really nice. If you would draw a card, reveal the top card of your library instead. If it's a creature card, put it into your graveyard, otherwise draw a card. Now, that sounds like a huge downside, but whenever a creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return it to your hand. So, if you play a air quotes zero cost creature like Walking Ballista or Stonecoil Serpent, and you have an Enduring Renewal in play, you can infinitely loop that creature, creating infinite enter the battlefield triggers. And we are going to use Altar of the Brood to mill our opponent out. That is kind of the game plan with the Enduring Renewal. Now, we played another Altar of the Brood deck list before, and it was a little bit questionable. Feeding the opponent's graveyard is not necessarily the best thing to be doing in Legacy when cards like Dragon Rage Channeler and Murktide Regent exist. But of the various combos involving Enduring Renewal, I thought this one was probably the one that let the rest of the shell around it work out the best way. You can go different directions. You can do like an Ashnid's Altar plus Ornithopter or Memnite sort of loop where you sacrifice those creatures to generate infinite mana. But if I'm playing Altar of the Brood, that's at least fetchable with Urza Saga. It can sit on the battlefield and be an artifact and make some of my other artifact-based synergies better. And kind of the question from here was like, what does the rest of the shell look like? And like Urza Saga Slam Dunk Auto Include, it's the glue that holds together a lot of questionable ideas. See my recent what do you want to call it? Phyrexian Dreadnought Mono White video that is absolutely blowing up right now. And from there, I wanted Kappa Cannoneer. So Kappa Cannoneer also is a combo with the Enduring Renewal, right? So like if you have a Kappa Cannoneer in play and you play the Enduring Renewal and you start looping these things, you not only have a mill kill, you also have an infinite-sized creature that is unblockable. So in addition, even if you don't have the Altar of the Brood, just like Enduring Renewal plus Kappa plus one of these cards also results in an instant win. So that kind of gave me I need A, I need B, and then I need one of C. The other thing we can do with the Enduring Renewal loop is create infinite Thopters. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you get a 1/1 Thopter, right? So we can go Enduring Renewal plus one of these plus Psi to create infinite Thopters. So we have multiple different infinite combos using Enduring Renewal in the deck list. But in constructing this, I still didn't think the Enduring Renewal was supposed to be a 4 of, despite all of these combos. In the games where we draw it, like there is a very good chance that we will go infinite for it with it because like we just have these different directions. But it is just going to be one of the slowest cards in my deck list, and it is going to require white. If you're really into the nitty gritty of legacy mana bases, the 8 cast deck traditionally plays about 16 lands. I've gone up to 18 lands here to kind of compensate for playing some more expensive cards. And from there, I decided to round out the deck list with a couple copies of Karn because I just thought with the number of artifacts that we're likely to make, especially including Psi, I just think these tokens are going to be huge. One cute thing that I wasn't sure if it should be in the main deck or the sideboard is a Basilisk Collar. I think Shadow Spear, generally speaking, is going to be better than Basilisk Collar in Legacy as something that you should search up. The trample is really good with the large construct tokens, but Basilisk Collar is super cute with Walking Ballista, where it has Death Touch and you just like ping something and it dies. So I couldn't help myself but throw those into the deck list. Now, since we are fitting in a bunch of janky cards into this deck list that like normally wouldn't make the cut of legacy playability, some amount of the good stuff has to be in the sideboard. And essentially, I'm dropping the Force of Wills and Chalice of the Voids and Thought Casts that are normally kind of in this pseudo blue artifact shell for my combo pieces. So that means that my sideboard really needs to compensate for my game 1 weakness against combo, and that's why we have a bunch of Metallic Rebukes, Chalice of the Voids, and other assorted graveyard hate cards. I'm playing Brazen Borrower as kind of my catch-all to bounce stuff out of play. Normally, 8-cast does this with Otawara, but we really need some white sources here to make it so that we can get white for this card. And so, like, that's another reason why I've gone up to 18 lands. We have the 4 Tundras, the 2 Ancient Dens, and then 8 pieces of artifact mana, which hopefully is going to be enough to cast that, especially considering that, like, Urza's Saga is going to fetch up mana some portion of the time. All right, let's see how this plays out. It's probably a little bit janky, but this is probably powerful enough that we can take it through a league. I don't think we need to be in the tournament practice room for this one. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoy. This deck tech has gone a little bit long, so let me just say, throw me a like before this video begins, and if you like what you see and you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing a giveaway once I hit 15K. Let's battle. Bill from the future here with some recommended rounds. If you really like grindy magic, consider watching round 1. If you really just want to watch this deck do its thing, feel free to jump to round 5. This hand doesn't really do anything. Like, I have so much mana, and I can get an Enduring Renewal into play, but I don't have either combo piece here. Especially with 2 Enduring Renewals, I just think that has to be a mulligan. Whereas this hand is actively good. Tundra go back, play a construct or Karnstruct game of some kind, I think. That should be fine. All right, so we're probably playing against a Prismatic Ending deck of some kind. Could be a Displacer Kitten combo deck. No shuffle with the Ponder. So we're just starting turn 1 strong. Just Urza Saga, Alter, Bobble. I think so. Just start immediately making constructs, and Karn can come in a little bit later. Okay. That has resolved. Let the milling begin. All right, cool. So yeah, I think I just leave this. I don't really have any cards that I want to draw right now. I'm just going to have this increase my construct time size for the time being. Yeah, that's fine. Oh man, for a second there, I thought I was going to have oh wow, these constructs are going to be effing huge. All right, good stuff. I can also get like another altar if I want to leave the combo back door open. Oh wow, it's a Bant deck. Yeah, Uro's fine. Where did I land on my graveyard hate? One of those was in the deck, in the main deck as I was originally drafting this up. But I think those probably ended up in the sideboard. That is an okay draw. Here's to just hoping that my constructs end up outsizing everything else here. The altar is a little awkward for Uro-based reasons, but like my opponent was definitely afraid of it. I can just get Shadow Spear to get trample on these things. I think I'll just grab the Shadow Spear with the intention of just being bigger and badder than Uro. I also don't want to mill the last card or 2 for my opponent here. So let's just crash in for our 5. I will need to board in at least 1 artifact hate card for the post-sideboard games. Ooh, it is a currency converter deck list. Absolutely. Life from the Loam. Sure. Okay. This is neat. I like what my opponent has going on here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, I am very much going to be able to make more tokens. Okay, sure. Ooh. New Urza Saga just dropped. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Let's attempt to resolve this Karn. I've gotten no Surd. And I'll just bash in for my 4 then. The next turn, I can make an Urza Saga token while also getting a Shadow Spear equipped. and making one more artifact-based land drop. So I'm not actually too worried right now. My opponent has sweet resources available to them, though. Like Loam, Uro, currency converter, like that is a hell of an engine when like everything is considered together. All right, so there is the Uro. Again, though, like my creatures are just going to be bigger. I'm not innately worried about this card on its own. All right, there is an Enduring Renewal. Let's work towards the white mana for that. All right, here's my Urza Saga Construct token. Here's my Equip. This becomes a little awkward if my opponent has Swords to Plowshares. All right, do they have it? Seems like yes. Okay. I wonder if that was the best way to play that turn. Like, if I were in their position, I would have let me attack, blocked with Uro, Swords to Plowshares this, trade Uro for that creature, and then, like, I've lost both Construct tokens. But I don't know what all they have going on over there. But yeah, that's fine. I'm good with this just chilling in play still. See what Narset digs up. Digs up a Force of Will. Sure. Okay, that's fine. Oh, okay. Uro just bashing in, looking for maybe a blue card to pair with Force, or maybe a Prismatic Ending or Source of Plowshares or something. I'm so close. I am a white mana away from comboing off. Actually, I could just get Mox Opal here. This is potentially a problem. I think I'm gonna start here, leaving my colored mana available. Okay, that's fine. Do I get the Mox? I think I get the Mox. It gives me my second white. Gives me Seat. I'm going to try to bait the... Well, maybe it's not baiting. I'm going to cast Enduring Renewal here and see what my opponent does. Like, let's see if this last card is blue. Yeah, it has resolved. So my hand is now revealed, just generally speaking. I'm going to leave this Bauble in play. So now my opponent has an infinite combo to worry about next turn, and they also just have these large construct tokens, which are also a problem. Okay, no extra cards drawn off of Sylvan Library. All right, there's a land drop. Let's see what the follow-up is. I do have to keep this in mind. Sure. Brainstorm. Okay, yep. Opponent already played their land and cleared to fetch the cards they saw off of library. Okay, they're going to do some looting. Does send these things to exile. Yeah, sure. There's a brainstorm. They have 4 mana up, so they do have to pitch cast a Force of Will on Sai. Oh wow, opponent is coming in with Uro. Yeah, that allows them to make another land drop, which means hardcast Force of Will is available. I think I'm fine blocking. Opponent, like, second main phase removes, like, a Shadow Spear or something. I think I'm okay with that. Like, every mana that my opponent puts into, like, dealing with this stuff is something that's not spent dealing with my infinite combo next turn. Counterbalance. Okay. And I guess there's no hiding information, right? Like, I'm playing with my hand revealed. So let's attempt a Sai. All right, there is a 2-drop on top. Okay, that's unfortunate. So I know that Counterbalance is my opponent's top card. I can play this as a 2/2, or I can just equip Shadow Spear. I think I like just equipping the Shadow Spear. This is a pretty big hit. This is half of my opponent's life total. And if they block, it is a very small creature. I'm good with that. Do I want to cash in Bauble for a new card? I don't think I do. Like, these artifacts sitting in play are actively good for me. I'm going to have to trample over a decent amount of toughness next turn. Because, like, this can just give them a token this turn. So, interesting that it says my name there. That's very odd. Oh, they're going deep with the currency converters. Sure. Okay, that's fine. I do see why my opponent was so afraid of the Altar of the Brood. Like, they're already past half of their library on turn 8. Ooh, that's not the best for me. Okay, sure. That's a lot of power out of nowhere. My opponent just controlled the one currency converter as of last turn. Okay, so 2 of this mana is towards Urza's Saga. I think I'm just going to cast a Walking Ballista for X's 1. So yeah, I might do it for X's 2, just to make just in case, like, counterbalance on top of my opponent's line. I guess I can back with Bobble first. Alright, well, so let's do that. Let's just get that card into play. But yeah, they chose not to use the ability. I want to go ahead and cast this for X's 2, so its CMC is 4. And that should avoid a counterbalance on 2. Okay. There's a Force of Will on top. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I'm not gonna crack a Bobble. I'm just gonna let those fill. Because assuming I can actually get in there with Shadow Spear at some point, those things are good. If my opponent doesn't have that Force of Will, I can tutor up Altar of the Brood, and then I have the Enduring Renewal kill on my turn. And I also can keep from taking a bunch of points of damage this turn. Well, I guess they could also put a 0-drop on top of their library. I have some theoretically good things coming. There are also worlds where I just funnel a shit ton of mana into Walking Ballista a couple turns in a row and kill with Jesus. Okay. That's so many of those. Okay, cool. We've made it out of this turn. Opponent may or may not actually have Force of Will. We will find out. Alright, there's a 9/9 that is about to have Trample. So go ahead and activate this. Now a 10/10. Okay, sure. Okay, they're doing some looting. Okay. They've junked a Force of Will. Okay, nope, they're just going to leave it in graveyard. So I can get rid of that. Okay, they are sending that to exile. Huh. That's supposed to go under the currency converter that activated it? Huh, that's weird. Okay, sure. Alright, here is an Altar of the Brood. I'll cast a Lotus Petal here, see if it resolves. Alright, so that is a Force of Negation. Yeah, you're dead unless the top card of your library is a 0-drop and you specifically didn't reveal it to just get me there. But let's not reveal that trick until the second main phase, I guess. Alright, so there's 12 incoming lifelinky damage. That's all fine. Kill both of those. Ping you. Ping you. Always yield to that. Save targets. Always yield. Cast Walking Ballista for 0. Always yield to counterbalance. Yeah. Alright, that's a kill. Wait. They did have a Scalding Tarn on top. And they just didn't use it? Okay. Sure. I will take 1 card off of... Oh, fuck. I guess I could have bobbled and checked. I guess that's on me. Yeah, that's on me for not doing that. So, unfortunately, now opponent gets to stack counterbalance. Sort of an interesting way. They've got a lot of moving parts, though. Like, they've got Burrows and Sylvan Library triggers and counterbalance to be thinking about, as well as these currency converter activations. Straight up sticking an Altar of the Brood early in the game is probably milling this opponent out. Like, just seeing how many things they are doing here. Here's a Saga is a bit of a problem. Oh, I see. So I drew Kappa Cannoneer, and so it got put into my graveyard. Alright. That's a little frustrating. That's a little frustrating. Okay, yeah, so my opponent got to plan around that. I think I just have to hold this back. My attacks aren't great into this shit. I am going to cash this in for a card. Again, same as last turn, I could have done that first. but I didn't really want to decrease my artifact count necessarily. Sure. Alright, let's always yield to all this bullshit. Oh, I see. So the way this currency converter works, it's whenever you discard a card, you can choose to exile it with each one of them. Okay, got it. Sure. Alright, my opponent's construct tokens are going to get huge fast. But they very much have the number of cards in their library as a limiting factor, which is sort of pushed to the limit with my whole Altar of the Brood thing. It does super suck that I can't just like draw a Kappa Cannoneer and just end this game in like one turn. This is another reason not to play 4 of these. Maybe my creature count is too high in this deck. Yeah, so another problem with this is like I can't just like play this out and then like top deck into a creature. I can't really play this out in a lot of cases until the turn that I actually am going to go off. Alright. Alright, mill some. And I think I'm just going to be holding back my construct token every single turn. And I'm going to be grinding clock more so than anything else here. I think I have already lost this game, just kind of effectively. But my opponent has a shit ton of stuff to click through. And I will take that advantage. Yeah. I can't just like surprise my opponent with stuff that I draw either. Or its downside is so much bigger than I thought it was. Okay. Alright, Urza Saga ticks up. See if they have the 4th currency converter. Okay, they failed to find an artifact, so they have 3 currency converters as things that they can find in the deck, just full stop. Uh-oh. That's a lot of damage. Am I instantly dead? I guess there's no reason to do math, like I'm dead or I'm not, right? There are the 2 states here? Yeah, okay. Alright, okay. Pithing Needle for currency converter is good. Relic is good. Soul Guide Lantern is good. Additional bangers are good. Do I even need Enduring Renewal in this matchup? The combo is fine, but it seems like just playing Altar of the Brood and milling my opponent out also just works. Unless they have like some post-sideboard endurances that they can bring in. Let's cut these. Let's get these 3 cards into the deck, and then let's go from there. Basilisk Collar to just gain a bunch of life and prolong these games seems reasonable. Arn seems reasonable. I don't think I want Brazen Borrower. If I cut Enduring Renewal, Walking Ballista gets worse. I can do this. At that point, do I cut 1 Walking Ballista to just have a Brazen Borrower for the utility? The answer very well might be yes. That was a very weird game. Okay, this just doesn't have enough mana for me to be happy with it. I will just mulligan this hand. Hand's awkward. I think I'm keeping it, but it's awkward. Getting rid of that Stonecoil Serpent. Going to lead on Tundra. Straight up going to Pithing Needle Currency Converter on turn 1. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just cycle both of these. It's got a Brainstorm and a Pithing Needle. Okay, their Pithing Needle for Urza Saga is exceptionally good. Although they're an Urza Saga deck too. And we'll see if they slam it on Urza Saga on turn 1. They do not. Alright. Let's get this party started. I am playing out this Urza Saga as a fetch for another Altar of the Brood, with the expectation that this does get countered. On it with a heads-up play there of using my mill trigger for a baby shuffle with Brainstorm. So, good play there. And, okay, opponent's turn is really fucking good. They get to get rid of my Altar of the Brood and Pithing Needle Urza Saga. Yeah. That's fine, like, I played that knowing that was a thing. Do I want end of turn Brazen Borrower to attack, or do I literally just want to go towards more copies of Who's What's It? I think I want to go towards more copies of Who's What's It. And I can end of turn bounce this Pithing Needle to like, get at least one construct token. Okay, sure. Awkward if this gets Force of Negation for me waiting to do this. No, I guess I have to wait to do it, otherwise they just replay it, right? Yeah. Okay. I will just make it with this one to use my mana more efficiently. Alright. He's a baby. Alright, the opponent just Swords of Plowsharing that critter. That's fine. Take a new altar. And we'll start that milling game again. That's going to be my plan. I wonder if opponent... Okay, yeah, opponent is not going to re-Pithing Needle Urza Saga immediately. Alright. Well, let's do that. Mill my opponent. Sure. That's all fine. Continue the plan. Oh, I did hit my opponent into Uro. That's okay for right now. And I'll drop an Urza Saga. And we will soldier on. Now, my opponent can make a Construct token and then Pithing Needle my Urza Saga. A little unhappy with that land drop. They went from not having Uro to having Uro. Then they can Pithing Needle my Saga. It's fine if I get to make a single Urza Saga token, but, like, I really shouldn't get to do that. Ooh. How are they feeling about constructs? Okay, cool. Alright. Do some milling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My token will be a 6/6. Okay, so they make something. I think I need to make mine right here. In case they do have another Pithing Needle. That will make me worse against Prismatic Endings specifically. But I think that's fine. Did the opponent just fail to find? Opponent failed to find, either meaning they've boarded out some currency converters or they have them in hand. Sure, I'm gonna take that hit. I'm just hoping to have the larger constructs as of next turn. Yeah, okay. They had a currency converter in hand, and then they've maybe boarded one out for other hate cards. Sure. Alright. There's a token. Cool. Shadow Spear? I could go for a third Altar of the Brood, but I think I do need to respect some of the like actual cards my opponent is playing here. Mill. That's fine. Okay, cool. Go ahead and get this equipped. The 10/10 Trampler as of right now. Battle on in with that. Opponent goes to 13. I think I will cash this in for a card. Where they've got a Volcanic Island. Good to know. Then they can mess around with some things that cost them clock. I'm not 100% sure that I win this game, but I've got decent prospects. Okay, cool. So do this. Do this. There's a 10/10. Do I just sit back or do I just trade for some of these? I think I just sit back. I want to be on the defensive pretty soon. I can do like end of turn, play a Brazen Borrower for 2 more mil, and then attach Brazen Borrower, Shadow Spear, like do that sort of shenanigans. My opponent's stuff is ramping up pretty quickly. They're gonna fail to find off Urza Saga. Sure, that's a little scary, but fine. Again, really planning on winning this game via time out or mill. Wild. Ooh, buddy. Alright. That's pretty good. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a Kappa Cannoneer. I'll always yield to that. Call it a turn. And then just like drawing artifacts. Just literally any artifact becomes so very strong. Opponent also has 10 fucking cards left in library, folks. Alright, they're taking an extra one there. I wonder if they have vegetables left. Yep. Opponent is definitely in the situation where they kind of have to play a little fast and loose. Like, they are being clocked on a number of different fronts. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, they've got a brainstorm. Sure. Yeah, opponent, if you can't win here, I think you need to be conceding. I can win a game in 5 minutes much, much more easily than you can. Alright. There's a bobble. Trigger a whole bunch of cards. I think so I can use lifelink twice. I do attack in. Or, yeah. I think I just attack in here and then move this over. Yeah, that's fine. And I go Shadows. Oh, I'm in combat damage. And I go ahead and go Shadow Spear equip here. Oh, fuck, I forgot to use Bobble. Oh, well. Oh, shit. Multiple meltdowns. Sure, forgetting to use Bobble was kind of huge. I mean, I have the life to do this. 7/7, Stone Coil Serpent, protection from multicolored. Okay, they had a Force of Will. Sure. So you're not unblockable this turn. How big are you? You're a 6/6. Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah, I messed up that Bobble play. I don't know that it ends up mattering, though. Like, opponent just mills out. Alright, there's a Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, cool. This is unblockable. Attack you. Alright. So, I probably win this one on timeout most of the time. How far into that do I lean? Like, do I lean into slow you down even more with Chalices and Thorns? Or I lean into, like, Brazen Borrower to bounce an Uro or a token? I probably do. Altar of the Brood becomes a little bit less attractive in a situation where I'm expecting to win by timeout. Gonna remove the stop on my opponent's upkeep. My hand has cards that hit very hard. I will keep this. I'm unsure if I will just crack my baubles immediately or not. Like, they're nice for Urza Saga. Like, construct token size. Yeah. I will play them immediately. I feel good about that. I'm going to hold them for at least one turn, I think. And see what my opponent can do. Sure, that's fine. I'm going to have these chill in play. Play an Urza Saga. Fine with playing a Bauble. A Tropical Island on top. That's fine. And yep. I will just start making construct tokens. Sylvan Library is fine. And end of turn, Urza Saga token. My turn, Urza Saga token. I don't have a lot of time to think here. I'm going to go ahead and name currency converter here. Play this. 8. I think I hold this. Bash in for 8. See if I eat a Meltdown. Meltdown destroying all these lands is just, like, unbeatable. Ooh, Terminus is very good. Yep. Sure. I think looking for... Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'll just cast Kappa this turn. Yeah. Alright, there's Kappa. It is going to get Force of Willed. Gonna crack one of these baubles now. Okay, they've got a Prismatic Ending. Take another card off of this. I just have 3 Haymakers in hand. Wow. That is certainly a line. As is that. Alright, land drop. Karn. Oh. No use of Karn. Make a construct. A Mishra's Bauble. They have a Flooded Strand, that's fine. Yeah, you can do your whole Urza Saga thing. My Karn gets Pithing Needled a good portion of the time here, which is annoying since I have a second one. If they're making another one, they are, but I've already preemptively shut off Currency Converter, although they do have a Prismatic Ending, so, like, there's that. Oh, okay, they're just going for the Force the Plowshares, that's okay. Ancient Den, sure. Play Giant Stone Coil Serpent. Try to clog up the board. Okay, and it has resolved. Now this notably does trample. F6 through this. Okay, there is an Uro. I have protection from that Uro, and I'm bigger than these constructs. I think I am just going to be passing the turn here. Like, I can attack in and trade with both of these, but I think I am very much on the time you out plan. When it goes to 1. Sure. Okay, that's fine. And take 6. Oh, okay. They're gonna take out the Karn anyway. Yeah. 2 mana, make this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Make that. And cast a turtle. Fire Blast, sure. And opponent is just gonna try to turn these sideways as many times as they can. That's fair. That's pretty good. But it doesn't really get you to where you need to go, right? I just end up ahead on board, yeah. We take that win by timeout. What a fucking grind. Ugh. Okay, I gotta think through this hand for a second here. Turn 1, Ancient Tomb, make a 2/2. Turn 2, Karn? Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Oh, that previous round was a grind. Okay, in case something weird like a Chalice or a Thalia or something happens to happen, I think I am just going to play out that card here. I think a Prismatic Ending is more likely to get pointed at the creature than the Mox Opal. Definitely could be wrong, though. Getting Delvered. Oh. Feels like a Prismatic Ending. Okay, yep. Oh, that's actually a good draw here, because that means that I can turn on Metalcraft for Mox Opal again. And I am just going to slam the Haymaker now. The Stonecoil Serpent gets more valuable as the game goes on. Ooh. Force of Negation, pitching Narset. So next turn I'll have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plateau. Okay. Welp. I'm going to ignore that Daze is a thing, I think. And fucking jam. Alright. Who's a big boy? Who's a big boy? No! My boy! Fucking Plateau is busted. Alright, so we're hoping the top of the deck is good. Because now, like my opponent has weathered my storm. My opponent has answered all 3 of my first couple of threats. And now they get to the Savine's Reclamation. Fuck yeah. Absolutely the sort of card that I needed there. Now opponent is missing land drops though. So that gives me some time. Okay, there is a land drop. Sure. Okay. So I make this, then I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 towards Kappa. I'm just gonna chill with the Kappa and get maximum value out of my Urza Saga here. And I'm gonna reset this upkeep stop just for my own comfort level. I'm just like used to. Oh, sure. That's definitely scary. Less scary now. If I go 2 mana for this, I can only cast a Walking Ballista for X is 1, unless I get a piece of artifact mana. Get a Lotus Petal. I cast Walking Ballista for X is 2. I have 1, 2, 3. Actually, so I cast Walking Ballista for X is 4. I have the Walking Ballista itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus whatever I get for Kappa Cannoneer. No, I double counted this. It's tough. I think I want to make my Urza Saga construct token still. I'll grab a Lotus Petal. I suppose I should just attack now with my 5/5. And then I'm going to attempt to do the thing that gets rid of the Mentor. A Force of Will backing this up would be very good. Okay, great. Goodbye, Mentor. So now I have 2 construct tokens in play, plus a Kappa Cannoneer next turn in most circumstances. There's some circumstances where I don't play it, but those are very few and far between. Alright, am I losing some constructs? I am. Okay, yeah. Fine with just casting this pre-combat, because it improvise with this. Because it will grow this construct by 1 for this turn cycle. Ooh! No! I have a family! So opponent, again, is in one of these situations where, like, they can play a powerful card like Expressive Iteration, Narset, Monastery Mentor this turn while I'm top decking. I'll just keep top decking Urza Sagas, huh? That sounds pretty legit to me. If I want to play this, I can like hold it for Psy. I think I can hold this a turn for a Psy. And my opponent just gets some time to cantrip without me harassing them with large artifact creatures, which makes me nervous. Alright. At this point, since I can like play this and start getting cards out of it, I think I'm fine with doing so. Alright. Always yield. There's some worlds where my opponent has like Arctide Regent type of graveyard interactions. Yeah, or Mystic Sanctuary is another great example of that. Where like having the Altar of the Brood can be a negative thing. Okay, there's the third EI of the game. Not great for me. And here I'm definitely feeling the absence of like the draw twos that would be in the more traditional 8 cast deck. Alright. Kill him. Get him. 30 more to go. Oh, that was a fast turn cycle. I don't think I just play out the Mox Opal for no value other than just milling here. I don't mind holding some artifacts for Psy again. Okay. That's not good. The Wandering Emperor. That will clock me pretty quickly. Yeah. Alright. Sure. I do kind of think opponent should have fetched a land in response to that. I don't know how many lands they have left in their deck, but if they're anywhere close to missing, like, fetching there seems pretty free. Okay, there we go. And my opponent will get a 2-2. Definitely falling behind here, but not, like, in a way that is unrecoverable. There's some hopes of being able to mill my opponent out if they don't have, like, something that allows them to shuffle. Ugh, main deck Pyroblast. That definitely puts a damper on some of my better top decks like Psy and Kappa. Alright. Well, we've officially reached Pew Pew Mill Plan territory, I guess. I am going to just hold that, though. I guess the same might be true of some of the lands, right? Like, in the worlds where I draw more copies of Altar of the Brood, the more things that I have in hand to vomit out at once, the better chance I have at actually milling my opponent out. The issue is that I'm just, like, going to be on about a 3-turn clock from these Samurai. Like, Wandering Emperor just, like, continuing to increase the clock is pretty rough for me, and there might be another mentor in the deck somewhere that my opponent can just hit. Alright, there's the 4th EI. Finding a Tundra, sure. Yeah, there is a Snapcaster Mage in the deck, so I'll just take out one of my altars with a Prismatic Ending. And that makes milling my opponent out before they kill me pretty much just impossible here. Two more attacks is going to do it. Yeah. I'll play some cards out just to, like, see more cards of my opponent's deck, but at this point I've kind of accepted that a win is not really on the table. Honestly, you know what? After how grindy that last round was, in case we end up in a similar situation as that, I'm just going to concede and save the 20 seconds on my clock. Alright, how do I feel about the combo here? It's kind of fine. Last time around, I needed to deal with a bunch of graveyard BS that I don't necessarily have to this time around. I think I like Chalice a little better versus this deck. Like, opponent has a whole bunch of 1-drops. I think I also want Pithing Needle and Karn. There's a lot of cards to bring in. But, like, I actively like Walking Ballista as something that kills Mentor. What if I do something like this, where I leave in the combo possibility? I don't necessarily want to draw altars if I'm bringing in Chalice. And I'm going to be bringing in another 1-drop anyway. And what if I go down, like, some Lotus Petal or something? Go down, like, a Lotus Petal and 1 Bobble or something like that? Yeah. Yeah, this hand's totally fine. This is absolutely a Urza Saga take the wheel sort of hand. Oh, let's just always yield to that. Haha! Nice. And I don't think I want to play Shadow Spear this turn. We're hoping to go big with constructs in the short term. Terror? Fuck me, I guess. Okay, sure. That's some tech. Took the Mystic Sanctuary out of the deck. I think I just want to cast this for a larger number next turn. I think I'm willing to take 2 to play this Shadow Spear here. Pull the Plateau out of their deck. Yeah, one mana land destruction spell, absolutely legit. Also, this card got huge. What a zoom. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's keep holding Stonecoil Serpent then, I guess. I don't know. Like, I could just cast this as a 3/3 that pressures a Narset that gets put into play, though. Like, this is worth more later, but assuming Urza Saga actually does stick around, I don't actually have a good spot to cast this for 2 to 3 turns. Yeah, I think I do like this to pressure Narset or Teferi. Very specifically good against Teferi. That can't be bounced by him. Okay, there's another Tarn. Alright. Yeah, ooh, that's a sigh. I'm not ready for that card as of right now. Well, could be. Could absolutely cast it off Lotus Petal right now. Alright. I've convinced myself. I might not get sick value off of it, but I'm definitely keeping the pressure up on my opponent. I am very glad that I have Shadow Spear, because I am in danger of doing approximately 1,000,000,000 damage to myself with double Ancient Tomb. Ah, damn it. Alright. Sure. Is this worth the damage? I think it's worth the damage. I don't know that, like, it doing 2 to myself will be worth doing 1 to my opponent. Eh. They're not pressuring me. Fuck it. Let's go. And Pithing Needle on Scalding Tarn would have been so cute if it were not for Serenity here. So I guess I'll just take a Bauble that can replace itself. Alright. Play this. So I can sacrifice both my Construct tokens to draw a card, or I can get a little bit more life. I think I value the card. So here's 5 damage. Putting my opponent to 15. And then I'll go ahead and crack this Bauble. Got a Flooded Strand. Thinking through this turn a little more slowly now. I think I would have not made the second construct, equip the Shadow Spear instead. Ooh, nice. Alright. Blue and 1. Sacrifice both constructs to draw a card. I was getting a couple life out of the Shadow Spear. Relevant with double Ancient Tomb. Ow. And that would have been thickest Pithing Needle of all time. Okay. Arn? I'm not sure on which one of these I'm supposed to play here. Like, there's a decent chance that whatever I play gets forced. Yeah. Arn walks into Force of Negation. Okay, there is the actual factual Force of Will. And I don't think I am going to cast another creature this turn. I think I would rather cast those things next turn. My life total's getting a little low. Well, try it again this turn. There's Karn. That has worked. I don't think I'm going to attack into the Wandering Emperor. I think I'm going to go ahead and just make one of these and call it a turn, protecting my Karn from like 2/2 attack. Okay, seems like the attack would have been safe. Okay, they've got another land drop. So this turn's about to get fun. Cast a Bauble, and each one of these is going to grow the size of my constructs. Not sure if I activate Karn pre-combat because of, like, Dress Down specifically. I'm going to cast a Stonecoil Serpent here. Okay, cool. The 5/5, now I'm comfortable minusing this. It's a 6/6, that's 7 damage. I can make it 8 damage. I can make it 9 damage. Make it 10 damage, actually. I'm fine with this. Bash on in. Opponent goes to 2, which is effectively 1. Fine, cracking this Bauble. Sure. And opponent needs some sort of board wipe here. I can't fetch this turn, or they are dead. Oh, yeah. Dang you. Like, I get that you've got to try, but that doesn't get you to where you need to go. Okay. Do I want to make any changes based on what I have seen? Is Brazen Borrower Serenity too cute? It's definitely cute. Is it too cute? Unsure. I'm wondering if Enduring Renewal is win more here. If I have, like, a lot of those things in play already, I feel like I'm winning. It may be that on the draw, I don't want that. Yeah. Do I want, like, Basilisk Collar? My opponent is actively removing these Altar of the Broods, which is a thing. Like, they're scared of them. But, like, I can see Bauble, Petal, Altar, Basilisk Collar as being reasonable. So let's get a Bauble back in here. And I think I'll just leave that. I'll keep a couple of these just as artifacts to play out that my opponent will remove with Prismatic Ending. I don't know, maybe Altar is better than... No. This is a mediocre hand. It has 2 Haymakers in it, it has 1 redraw in it, but a little bit too much mana. And I don't feel super great about the early turns. I don't think this is better than an Urza's Saga hand, or a hand that can... Well... No, I don't feel good about that one. That's like 3 draws to hit a land. I think I'm going to keep this. Pitch the Karn, and then hope that I can string these 2 cards together in a meaningful way. I will be very bad against, what is it, Tear on Urza's Saga. I just got rid of you! Alright. Saga. Okay, cool. Didn't immediately get destroyed. Nice. This turns Mox Opal on, meaning that it's okay to cast a Psy, and then I'm in pretty good shape if I draw a 0-cost artifact or a land for next turn, even if Psy gets countered. And life's pretty awkward in the worlds where I miss this turn. Yeah, that's awkward. Okay. Alright, so we're going to see a Brainstorm and a fetch here. There's the fetch. And I assume this resolves. We're going to shut off the Narsets, I think. So my Mox Opal is back on, but I'm not quite to Kappa Cannoneer territory. I didn't get good value out of this Urza's Saga. I can get another permanent that can serve as a mana rock for Kappa Cannoneer, so, like, this isn't the end of the world. Definitely scared of, like, a Serenity, though. Definitely scared of a Monastery Mentor. Okay. So am I losing the Lotus Petal? Make a construct? Or am I just trying to cast Kappa Cannoneer immediately? I think I'm going to take this value. Alright. There's my construct. I think Shadow Spear might be necessary here. Shadow Spear with large construct tokens and or large Kappa Cannoneer, like, sounds like an okay game plan. Alright, there's a 4/4. Immediately turn that into a 5/5, I think. Little choke down mana here. I'm 1 artifact away. I'm just gonna have 6 this turn. I'm 1 artifact away from being able to put Kappa Cannoneer into play. Mentor plus a handful of cantrips will out-damage what I'm doing. But I'm not in real danger until I lose either the Construct or the Shadow Spear. But I think my opponent is, like, 70% favored to win here. Just, like, ballparking a just random guess. Because, like, all they have to do is find Prismatic Ending or Swords to Plowshares, and then life's real bad for me. Yeah, there it is. So, more importantly than anything else, this means that unless I draw Ancient Tomb, I'm not vomiting a Kappa into play this turn. Means that Mentor probably picks up a disgusting amount of damage next turn. I guess I'll just hold that. Casting it doesn't really do me any good here. And, I die this turn in some number of timelines. Yeah, F6, do your thing. I don't want to click through all these monk triggers. Yeah, then they just need to cantrip into cantrip into cantrip, and I die. Like, it's already 9 damage, and each one increases it by 4. So two more cards just kills me. There's one. Actually, this one probably effectively kills me, right? Because this means that I can't tap an Ancient Tomb. I think that means that I am effectively dead. I'm not literally dead, but I don't think I have outs here. Like, getting the Kappa into play isn't good enough. I can't get the Shadow Spear equipped to gain a bunch of life. Yeah, like, excuse me. I can get a Kappa into play by going Urza's Bible Chalice past, but that means that I'm very dead to the monk tokens. GG's. Like, we stumbled a little bit. We kept a little bit of a risky hand, like needing to hit another 0-drop artifact or a land, and missed. All right, round 3. I have 2 mana towards the combo and 2 Kappa Cannoneers in play. Or sorry, in a hand. I can work towards having 4 artifacts in play as of turn 2. I think this is a greedy keep. Let the record show that I believe this. Oh, fuck, don't Blood Moon me. Chalice on 1. Chalice on 1 is actually, like, surprisingly annoying here, because I was intending on using this as a mana rock. Okay. It also means that I don't have my combo anymore. Alright. Beat. Petal. Petal. It also means I can't just cast this for X equals 1. I think I'm just chilling here. While Chalice on 1 is, like, normally very bad against my deck, like, given the specific metrics of this hand, it was very good. Oh, shit, it's red Eldrazi. Reball. F. Okay, that's fine. Please don't follow up with Blood Moon. I'm going to lose a Lotus Petal each time I activate this, yeah. Transfer means that I can't cast this for X equals 2 now. Okay. Well, we'll see how much more gas my opponent has. Okay, that's fine. I think I beat a Rabble Master pretty easily. I'll need to draw more land still, but, like, this is not something that's that scary as of right now. Sure, I'll just pass the turn here with the intention of making 2 construct tokens. Alright, sure, this is all fine. Yep. I will, I think, make this now. I think I have to take my little edges when I can. Let the record show that I am aware that Bone Crusher Giant is a thing. Do I just want to block this? Take this out and never let Bone Crusher Giant get in the way? I think I'm okay with that. Yeah. Alright. I am fine with where this all is going. I think I just have to get Mox Opal here, despite how attractive like a Shadow Spear is longer term. Now I just need to top deck a land, and I can start casting spells again. Alright. Block that. I will be pretty good at, like, cleaning up a lot of this stuff in the not-too-distant future. Okay, so I have 3 mana this turn. Get my Psy down for value. And get my Psy down for value. Because, like, with 2 Kappa Cannoneers in hand, Psy also, like, kind of represents mana. Not 100%, but kinda. Alright, cool. I will go ahead and take these blocks. Something like Fury can kind of fuck with me a little bit. Okay, that's fine. It's good, but it's fine. Alright, so I have 4 mana towards a Kappa Cannoneer. Sphere means that I can't ever infinitely combo off with the Enduring Renewal. Alright, let's continue to make bodies. Alright, X is currently 3. Done. Yield to that. I don't think I want to start attacking. Like, I can. I don't think I have to. Like, I get to do a lot of damage to my opponent's board because a bunch of their stuff has to attack each turn if able. Ooh, they have a Thought-Knot Seer? I don't really care. My hand is very redundant. Going to get to kill 3 of their creatures this turn. Recursive Thought-Knots here every turn is, like, definitely cool, though. Yeah, not surprised to see a Cannoneer go. Yep, you can take your treasure token, take out this, take out this, take out this. A decent amount of damage to my opponent's boards. Air quotes for free. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the Thopter. I can cast a Kappa Cannoneer very easily this turn. I think I will do so before this whole, like, multiple Thought-Knot Seer thing starts happening and being a total nuisance. All right. So my opponent can have multiple Goblin Rabble Masters attacking next turn, which is annoying. Does it get haste? It does get haste. I think I'm just chilling still. Like, I might be too conservative here and not taking this construct token attack, but I think. Oh shit! It itself does not have haste. That's right. Sure. That starts to get a little more annoying. Take a block there. Urza Saga is a cool draw. Say that. Yeah, I think I'm just trying to survive a couple of turns until I can get lifelink, and then just kind of like instantly end all of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Karn. Karn minus. Giant Construct. And maybe go ahead and attack in with this. So I can block both Reality Smashers. I can chomp. Yeah, I think I can attack in with this just fine. All right, cool. Blood Sun get rid. Yeah, goodbye Urza Saga. Sure. Okay. Yeah, there's double Reality Smasher. That's fine. All right, so plan on this. Plan on this. This. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I want Brazen Borrowers for this. I want Basilisk Collar and Pithing Needle for this, and I want this Karn for this. I've got 5 cards that I want to bring in, with Metallic Rebukes not being crazy. So, Enduring Renewal. Enduring Renewal is essentially infinite chump blockers in this matchup. However, if my opponent plays Trinisphere, it's just a dead card that is actively very bad for me to have in play. Where does that leave it in terms of card evaluation? Probably not in a good place. Like, Chalice on 1 also stops this from getting in play, and Blood Sun stops Urza's Saga from tutoring this. I think this is a time where, like, these have to go, but, like, these creatures are still extremely valuable as a way to just chump block opposing creatures. That gives me these 5 cards, and then I board 2 other cards of some kind. It can either be Metallic Rebuke to counter my opponent's stuff, or it can be Altar of the Brood just purely as an artifact. I'm going to take Altar of the Brood purely as an artifact. I also might play Enduring Renewal on the play. Ooh. This is a keep. Just like with Basilisk Collar Walking Ballista. Straight up like it's a game of EDH. I think so. I don't know. Like, it can be awkward against, like, Chalice on 1, I guess. Trinisphere it is. That slows me down a lot. That's a good draw. Alright. I don't know. It would be a better draw in some other slightly different circumstances, though. Oh, shit. Opponent kept a thing that could Trinisphere and then didn't have a follow-up land. Shit, do I Urza Saga here? Just Urza Saga, play Stonecrawl Serpent for 3. Just fucking YOLO. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, there's a Stonecrawl Serpent. Okay, let's see if I get Blood Sunned awkwardly here. I do. I still have the onboard threat first, though, which, like, absolutely does mean something. Different reasons to play out these. I don't have anything that cares about my artifact count currently, so I think I'm just going to play Tundra. I'm also supposed to technically attack first, but whatever. Like, doesn't matter with the Trinisphere in play. Opponent drops to 10. Like, they have an Ancient Tomb. I have 4 power in play, and that power is going to scale. I can eat a Chandra this turn, but then I finish it off with whichever creature doesn't get killed. 4 mana. Could be looking at Thought-Knot Seer, could be looking at Chandra. Fiery Confluence. Absolutely. That was a good reason to play Tundra instead of Seat. Alright. Yeah. Fast Ballista for X's, 2 sounds good. And we'll yield to this. Like, the Ballista is just really representing so much damage here, right? So, like, opponent's at 7, and I just have lethal next turn as of right now. So I can pump Walking Ballista up to 3, attack for 3, 4, 5, and then shoot with Walking Ballista to finish things. This can also stop some Goblin Rabblemaster type cards if that gets played out. Yeah, that's, I think, game over. So my opponent can draw towards another Ancient Tomb, but yeah. Yep, that's dead on board. Okay, GG's. We're 2-1. Okay. I'm gonna keep this hand. We have the mana to cast Enduring Renewal. I have the other combo piece. I have like 7 artifacts that I can draw to just instantly win the game, like when I get to turn 4. I don't think this is the most powerful hand that this deck is capable of, and if I wasn't recording, I probably would just like mulligan this hand. But like I'm recording, like I gotta give this deck a chance at doing the thing it wants to do. And now a rather unfortunate thing is going to happen, where if my opponent has a Murktide region in hand, I am going to fuel them towards that. But I think given the texture of this hand, I just kind of accept that. I also think we're just fucking dead to Delver. I just don't expect to win this matchup. Their cards are just more powerful, faster, and more flexible than ours, and they already have like main deck Pyroblasts to mitigate the power of Psi and Kappa. I don't conceptually feel good about this matchup at all. Okay. So, opponent gets 2. Oh, wow. They're just putting whatever that is on top. Sure. That's fine. I guess that means I just get rid of it with Altar of the Brood, right? Because, like, they want it. Yeah. Alright, so let's drop a Tundra. Turn on their Dragon Rage Channelers. I don't think I play another card here. I think I just wait. Like, I can play out a Lotus Petal, but it's less easily counterable for next turn. But, healing these things is rough. I wonder if I need to just, like, board out the Altar of the Broods because they just fuel my opponent's graveyard so well. Okay, that's a nice backup plan. So the question here is, how do I play this game so that I actually kill my opponent with Enduring Renewal? I don't think it's jam this turn. I think I need to try to get something countered this turn. I'm going to go Tundra at all. And now I think I cast Arn. Or maybe I can cast Stonecoil. No, Stonecoil Serpent for X is 3. Isn't a good bait spell. It just gets Lightning Bolted. My opponent has it. But if I save this Lotus Petal, that's good for Daze protection next turn. Alright, yeah, okay, I will do that. I don't know that this is good enough, though. Oh, fuck, no, if I cast this, then I don't have the combo. Okay, it's Karn, then. It's Karn, and, yep. The Karn baited a Daze, which I could have played around by waiting a turn and just making another land drop. I was hoping to bait a Force of Will or a Force of Negation with that instead. Yeah, you attack first, and then you play your Murktide Regent. Yeah, I go to 4. Murktide happens, and then... Oh, sorry, Delver happens. And we... Like, here is my combo attempt. This does kill my opponent if if this resolves, I do win. Okay, there's a Brainstorm. Getting rid of a Chain Lightning. And they put something on top. That's very bad for me. That presumably means it's a counterspell. Damn it! Alright, and then I am dead on board at that point. I will concede. Yeah. So, Altar of the Brood is awful versus my opponent. Conceptually, I don't think the combo's that bad. Like, 4 mana enchantment is, like, not where I want to be versus Delver. But, like, conceptually having this isn't bad. But this card is not playable here. So I'm going to have to kind of get enough cards in here that allow me to not play these. Basilisk Collar can come in. Arn, Chalice, Brazen Borrower are all playable. Is there anything else I want to cut? I'm fine with all the 0-drops. I'm fine with Sai, Karn, Kappa. I want to board in 7 of these 9. I want both Relic and Soul Guide. I absolutely want Relic, Basilisk Collar, Brazen Borrowers, some number of Chalices. Three Chalice? 3 Chalice is weird. I should probably play the 4th. Maybe I don't. Actually, Walking Ballista is not that good. It's like fine before their creatures are large and pretty unplayable afterwards. I want to keep 1. I don't know. Like, I'd be adding in a Karn in that slot. I also could have played Pithing Needle for Wasteland, actually. Nope. I'm going to keep this. I think it's Karn that goes back here. Just play Chalice into Kappa Cannoneer. Hope it works out. Alright. Keep. Goodbye, Karn. Let's start on playing out some of this free stuff. And then drop the Chalice on 1. Alright. Are we working? Yeah, I kind of assumed the answer would be no. I am not going to crack these baubles immediately because, like, they are mana towards Kappa Cannoneer, which I am hoping to play in the next turn cycle or so. Okay, they do have a basic. And no shuffle. Okay. There's Urza Saga. I think I am fine with jamming here, because otherwise my mana is just getting dedicated towards Urza Saga for the next couple of turns. So, like, this plays this into a daze specifically, but otherwise is very strong. Okay, I expect that I have now won this game. Yeah, that's totally fine. This Kappa Cannoneer is just going to clock so incredibly hard. And with Ward 4, it's just, like, not going to be easily pyroblastable. And it's too big to just eat a meltdown. Yeah, that's totally fine. Sure. I can go ahead and play out this land. I will immediately just activate this. Get the unblockable this turn. Yield to that. Crash in for 6. Opponent goes to 11. I think I keep the baubles in play. I just crack them if my opponent does something like a meltdown. Next turn, I'm going to, like, do some Shadow Spear equip nonsense. Sure. That's fine. Also fine. I have an Urza Saga token to give me unblockable for the next turn, so I don't need to necessarily crack right now. That's very good as well. Sure. Lots of things are good here. I think I'm just going to grab Shadow Spear. Yep, that's good enough for them. All right, I think for this game on the draw, I do definitely want the Pithing Needle. What is coming out for it? A Walking Ballista. Just harder to get that card to line up right on the draw. I don't mind playing 1. Like, I'm not sad if I draw it, but I don't know that I want to jam another 4-drop into the deck on the draw. This one just has to be a mulligan. I don't have enough mana here to be functional. I don't know that it is worth going to 5 here. But this is not a particularly impressive hand. Alright. Please just, like, lead on a Ponder. Don't lead on the Dragon Rage Channeler. Sure, that's fine. That would have been much scarier as Dragon Rage Channeler. Okay, how do I want to do this? Like, do I want to lead on Urza Saga on turn 1? I can go... I can vomit a handful of cards in play with the intention of activating an Urza Saga next turn. But things can go wrong. I think I want to give my opponent the chance to wasteland something else here first before I throw out Urza Saga. I want to play this now. I don't really need to play this now. It's not going to be turned on since I didn't play out Ancient Den. Thank you, Delver. Not flipping is a great service to me. Now it'll flip next turn, though. I'm going to play a Stonecoil Serpent for X's 2 next turn to try to turn it on. Yeah, this is why I didn't play out the Urza Saga immediately. That's fine. Okay, Petal's cool. Alright. Now I'll play Saga. Meltdown is horrifying, but, like, that's always going to be true, right? So I'm going to cast this for X's 2 so that it can trade with a Delver. But holy shit, Meltdown's so good right now. Oh, wow, we got a Murktide Regent and a Force of Will with that. I'm super happy with that. That also means that they don't have Meltdown, because if they had Meltdown, like, they would have just played it and ruined me that way. He's a second Murktide. I get... Ugh. Yeah, that's pretty good. Stonecoil Serpent. So I play this. I activate these with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Do a 6, 6. Do a 7, 7. Okay. Like, these are problems, but I'm hoping my Shadow Spear can deal with a lot of that. Like, I can mitigate a lot of this damage and then try to put a Stonecoil Serpent in play to trade with this. But any sort of, like, Meltdown or a Braid type card will just be absolutely disgusting. Sure, that's fine. Get rid of this. That's rough. It doesn't immediately lose me the game or anything, but that's going to make my life very tough. Yeah, that's so much damage. I can use Shadow Spear to negate a lot of that. Okay, that's a good draw. I'll play Urza Saga. Play this for X's 2. So I can trade with Delver, at least in theory. Try that. I'll go for the Shadow Spear equip here. I lose a Lotus Petal, but gain the +1/+1 from the equip. This puts me to 14. Lightning Bolt, taking this out is pretty good. Meltdown is insane. Sure. Okay, it's not Meltdown. That's kind of huge here. Force of Will in the Exile Zone. Ooh. Forced him back on defense. I'm going to attack in and see what my opponent does, and then I can decide whether or not I get cute with Brazen Borrower. Getting cute with Brazen Borrower opens me up to some bad situations involving counter magic. Like, my opponent just showed me that they did not want a Force of Will. I think I'm just going to do this here prior to damage. I just trample over for 1 more and gain 1 more life. Fine. Kind of where I thought that might be going. But I still just have, like, another Construct token coming. I still have the Shadow Spear. I just need to close this game out before my opponent randomly draws Meltdown. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 theoretical incoming damage, meaning the Construct has to be blocked. I have better lines of just playing out like Mishra's Bauble and equipping Shadow Spear. Be a 7, 7, 8, 8 with Trample. Yeah, I think I have better lines not making the Construct token. Grab Relic, clear the graveyard as well. Fine. Cast a Bauble. Whip here. I guess I also have some lines where, like, I do cast the Brazen Borrower and just try to get the Delver out of the way. Yeah, that's fine. This puts my opponent to 1. That fetch land is off. Feel pretty good about all of this. I think I'm going to go to my opponent's turn and then upkeep. Exile all graveyards. Just make it so a Murktide can't get into play. And I Brazen Borrower junk whatever my opponent plays on their turn. Yep, alright, I respect it. Hot damn, we beat Delver. We're 3-1, folks. Okay, we're a little too light on mana with this opening hand with only 2 initial mana sources, so I'm going to go ahead and mulligan here. This is technically the full combo, right? Like, -1 white mana source. This is the altar. This is the Enduring Renewal. This is the 0-drop creature. I think I just keep this. I throw back 1 of Karn or Sai. I think I'm going to throw back the Karn. I don't love that this hand, like, doesn't objectively do a lot. But, like, a huge portion of the time it goldfishes on turn 4. That's not that bad. The Kappa. I think I am fine with playing the Urza Saga this turn. Becomes a little awkward in some Wasteland worlds. Like, this is not the proactive hand that I want. This is the combo hand that I've got. Might be racing something like Show and Tell or High Tide here from the look of things. Okay. Do I want to just cast a Psi, or do I want to make Urza Saga construct tokens? Psi is considerably worse versus counter spells, but much better if I need to actually power out a Kappa Cannoneer, because I miss on land drops for Enduring Renewal. I think I'm going to just play out this artifact and pass the turn with these up, and just make some large artifacts. These will be out of Lightning Bolt range. Like, this will be 1, 2, 3. These will be 4/4 construct tokens to start with. All right. This is so this is so fucking suspicious over there. Absolutely afraid. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue this beatdown plan. Sure. Bit of a kick in the teeth if I just get dressed downed. Okay, there's a fetch. Okay, Tundra. So we are potentially playing against a control deck of some kind. I will still grab the altar and play this. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not worth missing 7 points of damage here. So let's go ahead and send that on in. Sure. And we'll call this a turn. I'm probably not cracking this bauble. Like, it's a mana rock for Kappa Cannoneer more so than anything else right now. Narset is fine. So my opponent will do some digging. Or a ponder. Okay, I'll have the choice of whether or not I actually want to kill Narset. Ooh. End step fetch. You're just going to immediately source the Plowshare as a token. Oh, okay. So I can play Psi into Bauble and hit for a bunch this turn, and then save Kappa Cannoneer for later if something goes wrong. I think I like that. So let's start there. Doing this pre-combat so I can get a couple more points of damage out of this creature. Sure. Pitching a Shark Typhoon. I do think I take a turn off to kill Narset. Makes things a little bit easier with my baubles. Sure. I don't think I need to cast this right now. Just be a mana rock for Kappa Cannoneer next turn. And again, we do still just have Enduring Renewal once we hit a white source. Fairy's fine, it's good. Sure. Bouncing that land specifically is annoying. Because, like, now I can't top deck another Ancient Den or Tundra and just go off immediately. I can do that, though. When do I cast Enduring Renewal? I can go for it now. Alright. Do some milling. Prismatic Ending. I think I'd like my opponent to have fewer cards in hand. Cast some stuff. Okay. I don't think I'm playing around days here. I think I want to save this Lotus Petal to put a +1/+1 counter on Kappa Cannoneer. Alright. Got some things to yield to. I'll, I guess, do this immediately because of Swords to Plowshares. I still have plenty of artifacts that I can use. Make this thing unblockable in the future. And if my opponent does a 5-mana Swords to Plowshares on this thing, like, I'll take the extra life. Sure. Okay, so there's the unblockable. We'll start with that. A Flooded Strand. I think Send at Face. Okay, there is the Ward 4. This is opponent tapped out. Such an awkward card. Fuck it. The people came here to see Enduring Renewal combo, right? Let's attempt it. Fuck. Alright. So at this point, I probably need to start cracking these baubles. I can cast a giant Stonecale Serpent that'll be immune to Teferi. Let's look at this. Oh, shit. Okay. I can only crack these one at a time because of Narset. Alright. There goes my altar. Okay. I mean, this is what I'm doing. Big mana for a snack. Alright, there is cycling a Shark Typhoon. Alright, my card has resolved. I think I'm game for turning this into another card. It's possible that it's better for me to just keep that in play, but like, but with like 4 artifact lands already, I think I'm just down with this. This is another problem with Enduring Renewal, right? Like, if I play an Enduring Renewal out, I don't get to draw cards like this anymore. And that is a very real downside. Okay, they're just cashing into Fairy to keep me from getting tokens immediately. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah. Good turn is good. Always play this. Always play this. This is conveniently 6 mana, so I just do one of these here. This is bounceable via Jace, but it takes pretty much all of my opponent's resources for the turn. Yep. Not necessarily the game my opponent wants to be playing. Sure. I guess I don't need to do this now. Well, if I do this now, I have the token. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just short. That probably means I cool it on the token. Like 1, 2. Can do this as a 3/3 while also making an Urza Saga token. I think I'm good with that. Also fine doing this. There's a Swords to Plowshares coming. All right. Altar's kind of whatever. I'm not really looking for that right now. So my current questions are like, does my opponent have like a Terminus or Dress Down style thing that is going to take more than one of my tokens out at the same time? Because if the answer is no, I feel like I am in exceptional shape. And if the answer is yes, I'm still pretty scared. Days Undoing. Sure. So notably, this does shuffle hand and graveyard, undoing a lot of the work from cards like Altar of the Brood. I need to kill that Narset, and I know my opponent has Swords to Plowshares. I probably have to send 2 creatures at Narset very awkwardly next turn, so my opponent doesn't get a one-sided draw 7. I've also got like Terminus and such to think about as well. Alright, so let's do this. Go to my turn. Make a thing. I don't know what to get here. I wish I had a Pithing Needle. Might just take an Altar to better fuck with the Terminus having been placed on top via a Brainstorm. Shadow Spear is also decent, but is like kind of bad in the face of Swords to Plowshare specifically. Let's attempt to send both of these at Narset. If my opponent blocks and Swords to Plowshares this, things can get a little weird. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so there's the Chomp. So now, I'll play an Altar. Did eat a Force of Will. Just smells like Terminus to me. Just absolutely reeks of Terminus in here right now. I'm gonna cast this card. Fuck me. Force pitching Jace, presumably leaving their last card as Days Undoing. And if Terminus is also the top card of their library, I'm so fucked. That is... Okay, it's not Terminus. But a Days... sure. Days Undoing is so spooky here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I tried to play around that, but here we are. At this point, it's going to take me a while to lose, but I believe that my opponent has the resources to very easily beat me. So, like, that was many Force of Wills. Sure. Use my Altar. Yeah. This game's pretty much over, but I'm not dying to anything yet, technically. Like, I'm dying to my opponent drawing a billion cards, and like that's a thing. But until there's actually something reducing my life total, I think it's worth it for me to continue this game. It is not going to be fun. I think I'll just hold that. Every card I hold makes me worse against Days Undoing, but you know, trying to play out a handful of these things in the same turn is logistically better for me. All right. Now I'm okay with this. Let's try to junk some cards from my opponent's library, shall we? All right, we junked to the Jace. That's nice. Ah, fuck, they're gonna have a dress down. Okay. Now, Days Undoing exiles itself. Oh, okay. Sure. Anyway, Days Undoing exiles itself, so, like, that's not something that I necessarily have to concern myself with, which is nice. They just bounced the dress down with Teferi to save that for later. Sure. I will lose to that pretty quickly. So I think that means I have to just go for it this turn. All right. Let's go for it. I was wanting to try to wait till this card count was lower, but I think it has become time. I'm at least playing around the spell pierces that my opponent has shown me. Force of negation? Okay, that's fine. Okay, sure. The Enduring Renewal that triggers, right? Yeah, I think this trigger comes from Enduring Renewal, not from the creature, so I think I'm still good. Doesn't say, like, creatures you control have. Okay, there is a Spell Pierce. I will pay for that. Yes. Okay, it's in play. I mean, here we go. Pass for X is 0. Enduring Renewal triggers. Always yield. Alright. This will mill my opponent out. Okay, I did like 3 iterations of it, and then they figured out what was up and conceded. Hot damn. I am surprised we won that one, I'm not going to lie to you. So the combo actually feels pretty good in this matchup. I'm not going to say it's insane or anything, but I think it probably stays in the deck. It's just one more thing that my opponent has to worry about. And like it did win me the game there. I do want some Graveyard Hate and some Pithing Needles though. So like, and I do want this Karn. So I want to find room for 4 cards. That probably means trimming 1. I can probably trim a piece of artifact mana of some kind. Or a random bauble. Either way is probably fine. Trim like 1 bauble. Probably trim a ballista. This is 61. And I feel pretty good about most of this. Also play some Brazen Borrowers. That's totally fine as well. I could get rid of Shadow Spear. Like, the lifelink is definitely cool, but for very specific reasons, I need to fetch up, like, Graveyard Hate in this matchup if I intend on milling my opponent out. Pretty fast Kappa Cannoneer. Ancient Tomb. Float 1 mana. Altar of the Brood. Stone Coil for 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is just a turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer attempt if everything goes right. I think I keep this. Like, it's not stellar in some ways. Like, there's better hands out there, but I think if a hand has the possibility of making a turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer, that's just a keep. Ooh. I like that. Alright. Ancient Tomb. Float 1 mana. Altar of the Brood. Okay. Let the milling begin! We're gonna always yield to that. Cool. Yeah, I am down for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't make a Kappa Cannoneer this turn. I don't think I want a Stone Coil Serpent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I just make it next turn anyway. Not gonna crack these. Please don't do me dirty with like a Serenity or a Meltdown. Or a Ponder's fine. Ooh, that was a shuffle. Sure. Ending on Altar of the Brood. Yeah, that's a little awkward for me. Not awkward anymore. Oh, holy shit, what a draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the Lotus Petal unfortunately has to be used for the blue. Alright. This major pain in the ass ward card is now in play. And it is going to hit like a truck. Okay, here's a fetch land to clear the Brainstorm. And they're going digging. The big question for me will be, do I make my token at sorcery speed in order to deal 1 more damage? How much is this? This is 5 right now. The difference between 5 and 6 damage is, like, definitely relevant. I think I'm just gonna take my 5 damage, though. Like, making the token now just makes me worse against something like a Supreme Verdict, or Meltdown, for that matter. Okay, there is a mountain. The fairy is fine. There's another reason to not Urza Saga immediately. That's fine. I still get a token out of this. And this, in theory, does give me more total tokens. Okay. This is 6, 10 damage. I can get cute here. I can play Karn minus Karn. Yeah, I've got absolutely cute line. All right. Let's attempt to resolve this. It's +2 damage if I do. Okay, that is a Force of Will. So this is currently 10 damage. If I play both of these as 0 drops, this kills my opponent this turn. So that triggers Kappa Cannoneer. That's up to 7 damage. That triggers Kappa Cannoneer. That's up to 12 damage. Hot damn. Attack you. And opponent drops to exactly 0. That is a 4-1 league with Enduring Ideal. Or sorry, Enduring Renewal. Overall thoughts on the deck list. It was fine. Like, scoreboard looks good, but we got a little lucky in a couple of spots to pull off those wins. Like, a couple of those board states that I won from were absolutely horrendous for me. Now, I will admit, in one of those situations, it was the Enduring Renewal that really saved my bacon. One thing that I don't like about playing with Enduring Renewal, though, is that, like, I can't just play this out and draw into the combo, right? Like, that's not something that I can ever do. And that probably means that this, like, is just, like, not viable as a strategy. In addition, just, like, letting your opponent know what's in your hand is real bad, right? Like, bluffing is a huge portion of Magic, and when your opponent knows you're sitting on a bunch of lands, or they know exactly what you have, there's huge advantages to be had by your opponent for them, like, because they have that information and can, like, play perfectly given enough time. Now, that said, against these slow blue decks that we were playing against, Altar of the Brood is really interesting as, like, a real win condition. Like, I believe we got 1 or 2 mill-based wins, and there were a couple of times where we milled something that was important. Like, in that last round, we milled a Days Undoing that would have let my opponent, like, shuffle and stop that from being a win condition. So, like, there are occasionally going to be situations like that. At the same time, though, there's cards like Uro and Knight of the Reliquary and Murktide Regent that punish you for playing cards like Altar of the Brood. So, like, do I recommend this deck? For an F&M, hell yeah. For a serious tournament, no, not so much. I felt like I had access to a pretty good suite of tools. We never brought in Metallic Rebuke, but if we played against other combo decks, I think we very much would have liked having that. So yeah, I'm very glad I bumped this up to 18 lands. We were still hurting for mana a little bit, and there were a couple of times where we did have some trouble getting white. But overall, like, this was a very fun league to play. But holy crap, what a grind. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider throwing me a like on the way out. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing. I'm doing a giveaway once I hit 15K. All right, let's call it a day there. Have a great day. See ya.